along with Roy Henderson, Chaitan Kuland, Christian Rufael, Jackson Lewis, Cujo Naoko, Alex Taylor, Brandon Franklin, Nathan Leggett, and Peter Gonzalo. And off we go from Koskinen Stadium. It's Duke in the white tonight, Howard in the blue. It's great to have you with us as the Blue Devils looking for their third all-time victory over Howard. Tonight, the fourth meeting between these two clubs. The Blue Devils lead the series 2-1, including a 2-0 record under John Kerr. Duke won the matchup against Howard here last year 2-0, and Duke looking for an early chance as Ajago keeps it in on that touchline for a moment. And Luke Thomas tried to play it, but the referee had already signaled it was over the touchline and it would be back to the Bison. Duke coming off a 0-0 draw at Pittsburgh over the weekend, taking on Howard tonight. They'll wrap up, as we mentioned, the regular season here at home Friday against Virginia Tech at 7. Meanwhile, this is a Howard team coming off back-to-back wins, their first 2 wins of the season, so a team that's been playing a lot better as of late. Howard, a 2-1 win over VMI back on October the 18th, and then a 2-0 shutout of Lemoyne last time out on October 22nd. And they've certainly got some pieces back from their club that won a couple of games last year, a team that's still building up a great culture there. Flag is up in the corner, and a deep throw in the defensive third after the foul there on Howard will be back to the Blue Devils. And it'll be the free kick as it's put in play back to the rookie keeper, Julian Eystone. 5 clean sheets over his first 13 career matches. Named the ACC Defensive Player of the Week back in mid-September. Now Duke wanting to move quickly here through the midfield. Ajago out sprinting ahead. Ajago tried to get it on his boot, but it rolls away to Hosley, the senior keeper out of Switzerland. 53 saves on the year. Saved nearly 70% of the shots that he has faced so far this campaign. Battling there in the midfield. Daly trying to win possession for the Blue Devils, and does. 50-50 ball flicked on ahead, loose in the midfield. Blue Devils trying to settle it there. Unable to do so was Bjornsson for the moment. Now Duke trying to press a little higher, trying to force the issue here in the first 3 minutes of the match. But a bit of a run out here for Howard into the 18-yard box. Nice job by Aceto to wall off, and then Eystone had to feather that one away. Bit of a half chance there for Howard. Not able to get a full run on it. And look at the quickness of this Duke team. A Blue Devil goes down. No foul was called. We play on here as the Blue Devil down behind the play. Now the quick turnover. Ajago in the midfield. Plays the ball nicely this way. Some room to operate on the flank there for Luke Thomas, the sensational senior for the Blue Devils. A good ball in, and nobody making a run near that far post. It bangs off a Howard player, and the Blue Devils trying to keep it alive with Periano. Duke has certainly been the aggressor here, but no shots yet for the Blue Devils in the first moments of this one. Thomas through the middle now, where the Blue Devils look to build it up. Here's Periano, preseason ACC watch list, all ACC selection a year ago. And you see the strategy here for Howard, at least early, just trying to weather this Blue Devil storm. Ramirez all the way back, and now Aceto for the Blue Devils. Draws a bit of attention there. And a good ball this way for Thomas. Thomas into the box. Thomas looking for an angle, nobody home. Chaperoned away there by Howard, and a throw in the attacking third for the Blue Devils, who played just over 4 minutes of this opening half. Now their team has collected a shot just yet. Wayne Frederick, who scored against Howard last year, 17 in white for the Blue Devils. Got the touch a moment ago. Lopez. Now Daly. Again, no foul called, heavy contact. Blue Devils asking for a call, didn't get it from the referee. And now Howard quickly the other way. The Bison with a shot from distance and a sprawling save by Eystone. Another good look there from the Bison, but Eyestone with the easy play. Ajago plays one, trying to get it to Frederick. But again, Howard there able to ride it out of bounds. Quick throw in for Luke Thomas. Frederick now looking to create as he plays one back to the middle. Lopez lets it go all the way back to Daly here, who now sends it for Acito. Ramirez, a drive from distance, a bit of a knuckleball there, but Hosley able to play it nicely, knock it down, and keep the Blue Devils off the board. That had some wicked action on it, but a nice play there by the senior keeper. Howard turns it over. Periano has it for the Blue Devils. Plays one this way for Thomas. Settles, chips it into the box. Ajago trying to settle it. Periano was there briefly, and it's out near the middle third, and the Blue Devils commit the foul there. Toward the top of the box, knocked away. Now the Blue Devils the other way. Drive from distance, and that's too much weight on it. And it will be a goal kick coming here for Howard. Blue Devils with an opportunity there, getting it into the box. But a drive from distance goes a little tall. Dukes has the lead in shots, now 2-1, each team with a shot on goal in the first moments of this one. Howard coming off a 2-11-2 campaign a year ago. Now their best win under Philip Zhao was 2019. They won 5 matches. They won 6 matches in the 2010-11 campaign, and really have a strong nucleus back from a team that played the Blue Devils very tough here in the early part of the season last year. These two clubs have played each of the last 3 years after not playing since 1972. And Howard, a member of the NEC, really competitive league. They've been competitive in a lot of their matches so far this year, especially before their back-to-back wins. They dropped a 3-2 decision to Stonehill, 3-1 loss at LIU, as that one played the other way for the Blue Devils into the top of the 18. Bit of a spaced op right here. Nice give on the inline now in front. A drive is knocked away. Bjornsson got a boot on it and had a good look, but it was punched away by Hosley, and the Blue Devils will get the first corner of the contest.
Taking the corner for the Blue Devils, number 22, Drew
It'll be Drew Kerr to take the corner here for the Blue Devils, the first set-piece opportunity of the contest. Nearly 10 minutes in. Kerr swings one, headed, and it was not headed. I beg your pardon. Acito was there for a moment for the Blue Devils, but couldn't get a flick on it. And the corner is survived there for Howard. The Bison will have another goal kick here. Philip Zhao in his 10th season as the Howard head coach. 1987 Howard alum, former men's national team player. Since 1998, he's coached 20 players on youth national teams. Fowler in the midfield on the Bison. Frederick has helped up. Some good sportsmanship there by Chaitan Queeland, the sophomore who played in 5 matches a year ago. Registered 2 shots last season, both at VMI. Now Ramirez playing one, looking for Ajago here. Ajago tied up a bit in the corner, looking to get it to Thomas. Driven in, Ajago making a run, gets a header on it, but a bit too high. Boy, a good run there, great play, and maybe just a little bit too much weight underneath it. Ajago was able to get a head on it, but sent it just over the crossbar. Already 5 shots for Duke tonight. 2 of them were on target. The Blue Devils average nearly 18 shots per game, and they're only giving up a little over 8 shots per contest. It's been a stingy defense for the Blue Devils, only permitting 14 goals so far this year. And that one blasted away by the Blue Devils. It'll be a throw-in coming here for Howard. Duke ranked number 8 in the polls this week, ranked in the top 10 for the first time since late September. And we'll have another stern test Friday night as they take on Virginia Tech. Blue Devils in the midst of playing a lot of matches here at home, 4 of their last 5, including their last 2 tonight and Friday, played here in the friendly confines of Koskinen Stadium. Thomas plays that one all the way back. Eyestone will settle and survey the chess pieces here. Periano drawing a bit of a crowd. Now for Frederick, as we mentioned earlier, he scored against Howard last year. Howard blasts one from distance and another save. Just outside of the 18-yard box there, a slither of daylight for Frederick, who had a good look at it there on the Howard keeper, but couldn't find the back of the net. The game still scoreless. A Howard team that at times this year has struggled to score. Only 11 goals for the Bison. 4 of those 11 have come in their last 2 contests. Maybe putting it together toward the end of the season. Again, they've still got 3 more conference clashes left after tonight. So a chance for the Bison to make some noise in that NEC as they head toward their conference tournament. Thomas through the middle and Ramirez. 3 shots on goal already for the Blue Devils, but none past the senior keeper. Settled for a moment anyway by Frederick. Couldn't keep it on his boot, and now a nice play for a moment there to keep the possession by Rufael. But a turnover, now Duke the other way. Wayne Frederick, who just had the shot a moment ago, plays it through the middle now. Here's a drive that's deflected off of the boot of Bjornsson. It'll kick over the touchline in another corner for the Blue Devils. Bjornsson, the first-year player from Iceland, Really experienced player at Iceland's highest level.
Taking the corner kick for the Blue Devils is number 22,
It'll be Kerr to take the corner again, the second time he's had that honor in this first half. 15 minutes in to the contest. Duke looking for their first goal. Kerr swings it. Front of the box and an easy play. Hosley able to spear it and punts that one. A couple of Blue Devils were there trying to win it back. Nice play through the middle there by Howard to win the possession. Up the flank. Numbers here for the Bison. Good play by the Blue Devils. Acito there to knock it out. Howard will keep it, though. And an opportunity here for the Bison. Nearly 16 minutes in. A throw in deep in their attacking third. They get it in to Rufael for the moment, but he couldn't get much on it. Rufael 2 goals and 5 points this year. Starting his 5th match of the season, number 7 in Navy. Played a season-high 78 minutes against Stonehill back on October the 8th. Howard got off to a 0-4 start this year, but played some pretty stiff competition. They took on Pitt to open the year when the Panthers were ranked number 5. Here's Ajago. Ajago plays one in, looking for a run there to the far post. Periano corrals it for the Blue Devils. And now Periano looks to set it up. Plays one back toward the top of the box. That one chipped and should be out off of a Howard player. It is. And the Blue Devils awarded their 3rd corner of this first half, and Kerr will have the honor.
Taking the corner for the Blue Devils is number 22, Drew Kerr.
See if the Blue Devils elect to play one in or go short here. Looks like Kerr will play it toward the box. Ajago, 21 in white, calling for it. Ajago making a run. It's headed. It's loose in front. Thomas flicks it. Kerr with the header. Now it's settled by Lopez. Lopez gets it back out of harm's way. Now Acito through traffic. Thought about a shot. Instead, keeps the possession for Duke. Feathered toward the box. Headed by Ajago. And over the crossbar again. And Ajago can't believe it. Another great look for the Blue Devils. Just couldn't get it to go. And it remains 0-0. And a little too much on that one. Periano couldn't track it down. See the Blue Devils really pressuring here. Winning the possession. Now trying to connect it. Ajago making a run. Another nice play by Howard to get it away from Ajago, who has been able to slither free a couple of times tonight, but not able to get one to go for the Blue Devils. It'll stay with Duke. And a stoppage in play here with just over 26 minutes remaining. I think the Blue Devil needed to tie his shoe there. We're ready to go again. Headed on toward the top of the box. Duke trying to run it down. Now in the middle. Acito for Thomas. Thomas dragging it to the touchline. Plays one far post. Headed. And again, a bit of a wobbly ball there, but Hosley once again makes the save. Hosley has been busy in this first half already. 8 shots for the Blue Devils, make that 9 shots for the Blue Devils, and 4 of them on goal. So the senior keeper has been tested frequently. Maybe another test here. Jago trying to win it. Look at the ball by Jago to win it, and he just missed going far post. The possession will stay with, or go to Howard, I should say, but what a brilliant play by Jago to win that ball. You saw him pressuring there, won the possession, and it was a great idea to try to go really the opposite way to try to beat the keeper, but he just missed that far post. Would have been his 12th goal of the season. And that's kind of a microcosm of how this first half is gone for the Blue Devils. So many opportunities, 10 shots now in total, and 4 of them on target, but they have not been able to get anything past the keeper yet. Meanwhile, Howard, 1 shot on goal. And they'll have to play this one all the way back. Now look at the run that the Blue Devils are making, putting some pressure on Hosley. A tough, dangerous play in the midfield. Periano is down, a bit shaken up, and that might draw a card, and it will. And the card will be assessed to Cujo Naoki. Naoko, beg your pardon, Cujo Naoki. Ko will draw the card. The senior from Ghana. It is the 17th yellow that is.
Yellow card.
Beg your pardon, the 26th yellow card that's been assessed to Howard this year. And Naoko has to be now obviously more cautious with 24 minutes remaining in this first half. Naoko does not want to pick up that second yellow card. And meanwhile, there is a Howard player a little slow. The Blue Devil athletic training staff out to check on the injured Howard player. First to check to make sure Periano is okay after that confrontation. He says he is. And hopefully just a cramp. And that's what it appears to be. So a stoppage here with just over 24 minutes to go in the first half. I believe that is Brandon Franklin walking it off. Franklin, the senior from Glendale, Maryland. And he has been a workhorse for Howard. He's played 90 minutes in 9 matches this year, and he's gone the full 90 in 4 of his last 5 contests as well. It appears to be okay, perhaps just a little bit of a cramp. Will have to come out since the training staff came out to check on him. Philip Jow, the head coach of Howard, will get the explanation of what's going on, and we will get a sub in for the Bison here momentarily. Meanwhile, Coach Kerr using this moment to chat with a trio of his players.
Entering the game for the Bison, number 18, Ramesses Gaines.
Ramesses Gaines will check in for Howard, the junior from Oxon Hill, Maryland. Gaines playing in his 9th match this season. He's made 6 starts, so a veteran that Howard can bring off the bench, certainly. Still 0-0 here at Koskinen Stadium as Thomas has it. Cito. Tried to get it to Ramirez there. Instead played back for Daly, and now to the middle. Duke trying to build up here. Acito surveys, plays one out wide again. Now driven in. Oh, and a nice run made by Thomas. The rebound chance is high again from Kerr, who had a good look at it, but that'll land in the Whitford Drive parking lot. An 11th shot of this first half for Duke. But nothing for the Blue Devils to show for it yet. .50-50 ball, won by nobody yet. There's a foul against the Blue Devils. So Howard electing to go short there on that free kick. This way, where it's headed out by the Blue Devils. Another throwaway incoming for Howard. It'll be Gonzalo to throw it in. Gonzalo gets it right back and then had it taken away from him. Ajago quickly for Thomas now, and Thomas turning on the afterburners. He's taken down. And that might be a card, and it is. It's on Nathan Leggett for the very aggressive play, the senior and an Apex native. And down goes Luke Thomas. It's the second yellow of this first half charged to the Bison. And a very dangerous play. Thomas
to Howard's number 23,
a little slow to get up, but appears to be okay, trying to walk it out. So again, the card going on Nathan Leggett, the senior from nearby Apex. Attended Crossroads Flex. Here's Acito for the Blue Devils. Ajago trying to get there. Loose in the box. And a foul behind the play, I believe. A Blue Devil went down. So Duke will put it in play quickly. Foul against the Bison. Three fouls against Howard, including a couple of yellow cards. Only 2 fouls against Duke thus far in the opening 45 minutes. Played about 25 minutes of the first half. Service in. Off his line was the keeper, Hosley, and then the Blue Devils unable to finish it, but it was deflected out by a Howard player. So the Blue Devils winning their 4th corner kick of this first half. Duke has taken, notwithstanding the 4 tonight, 84 corner kicks this year, up to 88 now. They've permitted just 49. Another Howard player a bit shaken up. Cujo Naoko, who was assessed the first yellow card for Howard. The player shaken up. And I think he's going to have to come out. Heading toward the Howard technical area there. And I think Coach Jow a bit frustrated that his player had to come out. Jackson Lewis, after getting some instruction, back in. And now the corner kick for the Blue Devils.
Entering the game,
Periano will take this one.
32, Roman Stallings.
Roland Stallings is checked in for Howard. Now the service in. Headed around. Oh, and it hopped off the boot of Ajago again. Another near miss for the Blue Devils. And Howard surviving another set-piece opportunity by Duke. Turned over for a moment. Duke will get the quick throw in here. Through the middle, and it's one back this way by Duke. They have Thomas on the wing. Instead, speeding ahead for the Blue Devils is Acito. He got into the box, lost the handle. Thomas trying to track it down, and it will spin out. Last touch, they say, by the Bison. So Thomas will survey the landscape. He'll lob it in, little give and go. Thomas getting it right back. This way for Frederick. To the middle now. Well, good ball in. This is Thomas with one. He scores! Luke Thomas with his second of the season. And the senior strikes to give the Blue Devils the 1-0 lead. Thomas with the goal.
That Blue Devils goal.
Goal for Bjornsson and Forrester Ajago with the assist for Ajago. It's his first assist of the season. He now has a team-high 23 points. Bjornsson with his third assist, and as we mentioned, Thomas with his second goal. The Blue Devils with 10 different goal scorers this year. That's now the 30th goal of the season for the 8th-ranked Blue Devils, who have the 1-0 lead. And Duke can now breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. Not that Duke was pressing or any sort of issues. Had plenty of opportunities, but a bit frustrating, I'm sure. 14 shots, 5 shots on goal, and you finally get the first one. There have been some great looks at it for the Blue Devils. But now, looking for that elusive second goal as Howard now looks for the equalizer, but a good play there by the Blue Devils just to take it away. That's Periano with a great defensive effort by the Blue Devils. Now Duke quickly the other way, looking for another. Ajago making the run. It kicks off a Howard player. Ajago, marked tightly, plays one into the box. A drive, top shelf, another one. Bjornsson with the blast, and the Blue Devils by 2. 49 seconds apart. The Blue Devils with back-to-back goals and a 2-0 advantage. Ajago will get the assist, so Ajago back-to-back assists now.
The Blue Devils goal was scored by number 9, Ofer Bjornsson.
And Bjornsson with his fourth of the season.
Forster Ajago.
Now that was a strike just inside the 18. Top shelf, and nothing that Hosley could do about that. And in the first half, the Blue Devils have scored twice. This has been a team that has loved to score a lot of their goals in the second half coming into play. Duke had scored 29 goals, with 21 of them coming in the final 45 minutes, in which they were out shooting opponents 134-57. Ruben Masalis will check in for the Blue Devils now, as
entering the game
Cameron Acito will come out.
Number 19, Marcus Lewis.
Marcus Lewis checking in for Howard as well. Acito gets a word from Coach Kerr. Now a ball in, looking for a Jago, and it deflects off of a Howard player, and another corner kick for Duke, their 5th of the first half.
Taking the corner for the Blue Devils is number 12,
Ruben Masalis will have the honor here for Duke. Blue Devils have been unable to capitalize on any of these corners so far. This, the 5th opportunity. But they almost capitalized there. Jago was loose right in front of the net. And another chance for Duke. Oh, it hit the post. That close to a 3-0 Duke lead. They'll have the throw in as Duke looks to continue to put the pressure on Howard here. Into the box, looking for an angle. And that one hits the side of the net. A couple of tremendous looks at it by Duke. Roman Stallings playing in just his 4th match this year. Entering for Howard.
For the Bison is number 33, Ashri Settles.
So Settles is in. Stallings is already in. Ashri Settles, I beg your pardon, who was checked in. Settles playing in his 11th match this year. Native of South Orange, New Jersey. Foul against Duke there in the midfield. So we tick down to the final 15.5 minutes of this opening 45 from Koskinen Stadium. And the Blue Devils already leading by a couple of goals. Eystone off his line there, plays the big hop. Now to Masalis. Masalis chips one, maybe hit that one a little too fat there, but the Blue Devils win it. Periano, good ball in. Good defensive play, though, by Howard to take it away. It's tremendous there for the Bison. I believe that was Baker who might have got the play on it for Howard. Foul against Duke. 4th foul against the Blue Devils in this first half. A couple of yellow cards in the first half has been assessed to Howard. 1 to Naoko, 1 to Leggett. And a couple of goals, as you can see, for the Blue Devils. If you're just joining us, Duke had 13 shots. And on the 14th shot, their 5th shot on goal, they found the back of the net as Luke Thomas made it 1-0. And then 49 seconds later, a blast from Olfor Bjornsson from just inside the 18-yard box to make it a 2-0 Duke advantage, which is where we stand now. 14 minutes remaining in the first half. Jago playing tough defensively there for Duke. That one into the box. Periano takes it away. And then ahead looking for Jago, but headed away nicely. Kept in by Gonzalo. Keeps it on his right boot. Oh, a nifty move there. Now trying to get to the touchline. And a nice job by Periano using that inline as an extra defender. Walled off the Bison player and results in a goal kick for Julian Eystone and the Blue Devils. Eystone only been tested once. Made his 33rd save of the season. Told you earlier, he already has collected 5 shutouts in his first 13 career matches. Eystone, who reclassified and enrolled early at Duke, should be playing his senior year of high school right now, but has been brilliant for the Blue Devils this year. Eystone's only allowed 14 goals this season. Knocked down, kept alive for the moment by Duke. Look out. Wayne Frederick goes into the coaching area where Philip Jow will grab him and give him a pat on the back. Those two guys know each other well. Coach Jow actually coached Wayne Frederick. So they know each other from a previous long-standing soccer relationship. A couple of subs ready to check in for Duke at the next opportunity. Looks like Cameron Kerr, Boy Jorgensen will check in Felix Barajas will also enter for the Blue Devils, as will Kenny Hott. So a quartet of Blue Devils to check in with under 12 minutes to go in the opening 45 minutes. Masalis marked tightly there, bit of a shove. We play on. Good defensive play by Lewis. Ramirez goes down, and then he got taken down again. He had already fallen, and then got nicked in the head a bit on the way down. I don't think there was anything malicious by Henderson. Those two show some good sportsmanship, slapping hands, and then we play on. Now, it was Duke making a bit of a charge there with Bjornsson, a little give and go. Back this way for Ramirez. Periano now. Trying to get that one to Frederick. And a goal kick for Howard. And here comes the quartet of Blue Devils, as we mentioned.
Entering the game
Kerr,
for the Blue Devils,
Barajas,
number 6, Cam Kerr. Number 7, Felix Barajas. Number 8,
Kenny Hott
Bull
also
Jorgensen.
in. Bull Jorgensen
and number 23,
entering as well.
Keenan Hott.
Ramirez
Entering
comes
the game
off,
for the Bison is number 9,
as does
Jordan
Bjornsson.
Julian.
Drew Kerr is out, as is one more Blue Devil as well. Luke Thomas coming out. He's the 4th Blue Devil. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half. A 2-0 Duke advantage from Koskinen Stadium. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday night. Jordan Julian, beg your pardon, checked in for Howard. Final non-conference game of the year for both of these teams. Duke will close down the regular season on Friday here against Virginia Tech at 7 o'clock. We'll have it for you on ACC Network Extra as the Hokies come to town. Meanwhile, for Howard, still 3 more league matchups after tonight, and they're home for 2 of the 3. We'll take on Sacred Heart this weekend. Then we'll visit Central Connecticut State before wrapping up the season with St. Francis a week from Thursday. Barajas. Ahead, looking for a Jago. And couldn't settle that one. Back to Howard. Masalis weaving through traffic. Blue Devils forced to play it back and try to build again. Still plenty of time as Duke searches for a 3-goal advantage. Periano, he gets taken down hard for a second time through the midfield. Remember, Periano was taken down earlier this half, and it drew a yellow card from the referee. Blue Devils playing quickly here, looking to get it to a Jago, and off his line was Holsley to make the play. Holsley, who has been busy tonight, he's faced 18 shots in the first half, 7 shots on goal for Duke, and only 2 goals given up. Stepping through and winning the possession was the Blue Devils. Good play by Periano. Periano has been involved in the fray a lot tonight, as he customarily is. Another throw in here for Duke. It'll be Daly to toss it in. And again, flicked off of a Bison. In for Frederick. A lot of hand fighting. Frederick centers one in front. Nobody there. Then it pinballs around. And I believe a foul called against Duke there to give it back to Howard as we roll under 7 minutes for this first half. good header. Now Ajago couldn't quite get there. Smart play by Holsley just to gobble it up and let it go. Through the middle now. Duke searching for that third goal late in the first half. Barajas for the Blue Devils. Plays it toward the top of the box. It rolled off the foot of a Blue Devil. And then Daly stands in, absorbs a big hit. And here comes Howard the other way after the turnover by Duke. Good play for the moment here. Can the Bison sneak behind the Blue Devils? This way it comes for Gonzalo. Now Quillen trying to work one down, and the Blue Devils wisely let it roll over the touchline there, and a goal kick coming for Eystone, who can put it in play quickly. And a stoppage. A Howard player, I believe, cramping up behind the play. Seen a couple of cramps from the Bison in this first half. Trying to walk it off, and I believe able to do so is, I believe that's Bryson Baker. Onari Rice will check in. Rice, the true freshman out of Greer, South Carolina.
Entering the game for the Bison is number 14.
Playing in his
Onari Rice.
sixth match of this season. Played a season high in minutes, 41 against VMI back on October the 18th. A game that Howard won 2-1. The Bison have won back-to-back matches after going winless over their first 10 of the season. 2 wins, 9 losses, and the draw. The only draw coming at George Washington in mid-September, a 0-0 draw. Lost their first 4. We were talking about it earlier before the Blue Devils got that first goal. Howard played some really stiff competition early in the year. They opened the season at Pitt when the Panthers were ranked number 5. Then a loss at Navy. Took on UMBC, played the Retrievers very closely. Through the middle now. Oh, another good play. Even better play by Jorgensen to keep it on his boot. Now this way for Barajas. He'll feather one that was deflected. Periano trying to get there. A little bit of hand fighting. And it's won back by the Blue Devils. The Blue Devils are the third ACC team that Howard has faced this year. Of course, took on Pitt on the season opener, then lost at NC State on September the 12th, 3-1. Barajas with 4 minutes to go in the half. Solace now for Duke. Frederick. And put too much on that one, trying to get it to Periano. It's really been a first half that has been totally dominated by John Kerr's Blue Devils. An 18-1 edge in shots, a 7-1 edge in shots on goal. Fouls, 6 apiece. Duke's taken 5 corners. They've not given up a corner to Howard yet. And now the Blue Devils were trying to build for that third goal. Howard doing a nice job defensively. Bison, a little bit of a build here. And a really good play by Lopez. And then Frederick sliding to knock it out. Throw-in coming here for Howard. A drive from distance, and Eystone right there to halt any further play. Masalis plays that one back to Eyestone. Daly now for Duke. Daly, a second-team All-ACC pick a year ago. Had assists in back-to-back games in late September against Charleston Southern and Syracuse. It's a big win for the Blue Devils, a 5-3 decision over the reigning national champions. And one more chance to make a statement in the regular season for Duke in terms of ACC play. Blue Devils could still finish in the top 4 of the ACC standings, but we'll talk more about that once we get to Friday. Matters to attend to tonight as we play the final 93 seconds of the first half. One to Howard. Trying to get free that time was Stallings. But Duke swarming to the ball again, forcing another turnover. Now down to the final 60 seconds of this first half. What looked like Ajago might have gotten held there for a moment, but another great defensive play. Ajago takes a bit of a spill. Appears to be okay. Now Duke with time if they can gain the possession here. Same for Howard. Bison have time for a run, and the offside flag is up.
Offsides, Howard.
First offside on either squad in this first half. Half a minute left. We'll see how quickly the Blue Devils want to play it here, and if they even want to go forward or if they're just content to play out the final minutes and seconds of this first half. Well, they do get forward quickly. Now Barajas trying to get to it in the corner with 15 seconds left. Barajas into the box. Had it knocked down. Periano had it. Now 7 seconds to go. Tries to spin one ahead. Final 5 seconds. Here's a drive from distance. A diving save by Hosley. And that will be the half. The non-conference portion of its season with a victory. Blue Devils really dominated the first half, outshooting Howard 19-2, including an 8-2 Duke edge in shots on goal. Blue Devils get the first touch of half number 2. Corner kicks, Duke had 5. Howard did not attempt one. One offside flag went up in the first half, charged against the Bison, and the fouls were even at 6 apiece. Howard also issued 2 yellow cards in that first half. And there's a bit of a takedown there in the box. It'll be a foul against the Blue Devils. And a little slow to get up is Gonzalo, but appears to be okay. Hosley back in there as the keeper for Howard. In case you're just joining us, the Blue Devils scoring both of their goals within 49 seconds of one another. Luke Thomas, the senior from Charlotte, got the Blue Devils off and running with the scoring. A goal with just under 19 minutes to go in that first half. And then, as we mentioned, 49 seconds later, Olfer Bjornsson, a blast from just inside the 18-yard box, beating Hosley for his 4th goal of the season and the 2-0 Duke advantage. And that's where we stand right now. Blue Devils had a ton of opportunities before those 2 goals, including several looks from Forrester Ajago. Just couldn't get it to go, as Hosley played a pretty nice first half, was tested a bunch, was able to make 6 saves in the first half, and now the Blue Devils trying to get it out of their defensive third. Drew Kerr wins possession, and now back to Julian Eyestone, who made a couple of saves in that first half. 2 shots on goal for Howard. But the saves were relatively routine for the rookie keeper. But now you see Howard being much more the aggressor here in the second half, trying to get back in it. Of course, a tall task against a Duke team that has been very good at preventing goals this year. Duke's only given up 14 goals all season long. Now have scored 31. And as we mentioned, as the first half started to wind down, this has been a Duke team that has been very good at scoring in the final 45 minutes. Duke scoring 21 goals in the second half this year and out shooting opponents 134-57. Very balanced Duke club as well, with 10 different players having scored. And you see that Tremendous Duke defense there. It'll be the first set-piece opportunity here for Howard. The corner kick won by the Bison. It'll be their 46th corner kick as a team this year. And we'll see how they elect to play it. Ball in, headed, but nobody home there on the rebound, and played out easily for the Blue Devils as they flick it out past center and force Howard to retreat. Hosley, the keeper for Howard, has a tremendous story. Of course, he's played in 11 matches this year, made 53 saves coming into the match, but has overcome a ton of adversity. I start off his line and makes the play there with a Howard player crashing in. In March of 2022, Hosley was on his way back from the movies with some of his teammates and was on a rideshare bicycle when he was hit by a car. No memory of the accident. He remembers waking up in a hospital bed and was in the intensive care unit for more than 3 weeks, had several surgeries, a skull fracture, a broken leg. And to his teammates' credit, as Daly gets in, and Daly to the middle, and a 3-0 Duke lead. It's a brace for Bjornsson.
That's a Blue Devils goal. Fans, look up close to the box. He's got many balls flying away.
The first career brace for the rookie from Iceland, and a 3-0 advantage for Duke. Now 2 goals and an assist for Bjornsson.
That Blue Devils goal was scored by number 9, Ofer
Acito and Lopez credited with the assist for Lopez, his first helper of the year. Same for Acito. Now the Blue Devils ahead by 3 with 41 minutes to go. And we'll finish up the story on Hosley there, who, as we mentioned, in that accident back in March of 2022, hit by a car on a rideshare bike, but he might be tested again. Ajago had that one knocked away, and it'll be a throw-in for Duke. Hosley's teammates stayed with him day and night until his parents were able to arrive from Switzerland. And Coach Jow gave him all the time he needed to recover. Returned to the field in 2023, making a save in Howard's spring season against the Maryland Bobcats.
The corner for the Blue Devils is number 10,
Nick Periano will take this corner for Duke, their 6th of the match. Periano swings it in and cleared for a moment by Howard. Can Daly outrun? He can, and he'll work it back to Eyestone, who plays it away quickly. Holsey also had an internship this summer at the Google office in New York City. Wants to be a software engineer. And he did another internship in the summer at the YouTube office in San Francisco. So quite the impressive young man, Benjamin Holsey, who has overcome a lot, a 2-time Howard Male Scholar Athlete of the Year. And has certainly been tested tonight by this tremendous Duke club. A 3-0 lead for the Blue Devils, including the brace by Bjornsson. Offside flag up here. And the goal kick coming for the Blue Devils as we dip under 39 minutes remaining. Kerr to the middle. Periano has it. And Duke just content to take some time, build up their attack here. Ramirez looks this way. Plays one now for Lopez. Periano, a blast from distance, and that one is high. A few times tonight we've seen Duke try those shots from well outside the 18-yard box that end up high of the crossbar. Now a 22-2 edge for Duke in terms of shots and a 9-2 Blue Devil edge in shots on goal. Throw in here for Howard, but deep in their defensive third, it'll be Jackson Lewis to toss it in. Lewis, who's gone the full 90 minutes in all matches this season. He's been one of those stalwarts for Howard this year. A Howard club that was 2-11 a year ago. They won back-to-back matches entering tonight, and Daly again wins another one back for Eystone. A good play by Amir Daly. Flicked on, and now the Blue Devils the other way. Thomas, who had the first goal of the match for the Blue Devils, looking to head one in. Ajago was there, so was Bjornsson. Bjornsson was looking for the hat trick. They're 9 and wide, already has the brace. And a late whistle there, the foul against the Blue Devils. And you're seeing some frustration there, I think, from Ramirez. Lewis McGarvey, one of the Duke captains, ready to check in. McGarvey, who made his first action, or saw his first action of the season against Elon. Here's Ajago trying to turn, but he's marked tightly. The multiple goals tonight by Bjornsson, the first time a Duke player has had multiple goals since Nick Periano had 2 against Syracuse back on September the 29th here at home. Thomas looking for an angle. Ajago is there, and another one is in for Ajago. The 12th of the year. Now 7 goals in the last 8 matches for Ajago. It's dance time in Durham. The Blue Devils lead by a quartet. Thomas, credited with his 3rd assist of the season. A multiple point day for Thomas, who got his 2nd goal of the campaign in the first half. Now the assist, and the Blue Devils will go into the bench a little bit here.
Forster Ajago.
Bull Jorgensen in for Periano. Acito is done as McGarvey checking in for Duke as well. And Cameron Kerr in for Miguel Ramirez. So this is exactly what you had hoped for if you were John Kerr. Big lead. Daly goes down. There's a foul.
Again, the Blue Devils goal scored
and
by
then you
number
can
21.
Use a little bit of your depth.
Assisted by number 16, Luke Thomas.
And Blue Devils do have a quick turnaround, obviously, with that senior day matchup against
Now
Virginia Tech looming
4,
here on
Lewis
Friday
McGarvey.
night.
Number 6, Cam Kerr. And number 8, Bull Jorgensen.
And anytime you can cultivate more depth at this time of year and also rest some legs, that is huge. As Kerr goes down outside of the box, no foul was called. We play on. And another throw in coming for Duke. And a bit of a mistouch there. Now, barring a fury of goals from Howard, and still a long way to go, but if the Blue Devils can hang on to this 4-0 lead, it would be their 20th consecutive regular season game here at Koskinen Stadium without a loss. Already at the longest streak in the ACC with 19 in a row. Here's Kerr with a bit of space. Ajago lost it. Back it comes to Daly. And a Duke team that would move to 7-1 when they score the first goal of the match. Again, long way to go. Still over 33 minutes left. Duke looking for another, and that's off the boot there of a Howard player. I think it was off of Gaines. It'll result in another corner kick for Duke, their second of this second half, and 7th overall for the contest. Kerr will take it. Loose. Ajago settles, tries to bicycle it. Couldn't get free. And unable to track it down were the Blue Devils. Sub here for Howard. Jelani Pierre, the senior out of Trinidad, will check in. This is the 8th time he has seen action this year. Made one start against Navy, game 2 of the season, which he played a season-high 65 minutes. Also played 4 minutes against LIU in early October. A foul there against Duke gets it back to Howard. Settled in the middle nicely. Frederick with a good play. Ajago touches one on. Turned over. And now Furman the other way. This is Rice. And Thomas able to help facilitate there. Wins the goal kick for Eystone. Final weekend of ACC play comes up this weekend. Duke has 10 total points in league action. Ajago, and a good play from behind to take it away, but Duke will have the throw in. Now, 2 of the top 4 spots are already set. 2 of the 4 first-round byes clinched. The third is extremely likely to have been secured. Clemson could be the other. That hasn't fully clinched yet, but still could. 3 teams vying for that final spot. The Blue Devils, the Virginia Cavaliers, and the Syracuse Orange. Now, that first-round bye means you would be guaranteed hosting a quarterfinal matchup. Ajago, a nice ball out to the wing there. Flip back in. Ajago trying to settle. He does. And then plays it quickly. This is Kerr, left-footed, and too much on that one. And a lot of things have to happen in order for the Blue Devils to lock up that top 4 spot. They would need a win. That's the most important for the Blue Devils on Friday. A win over Virginia Tech. Sub for Howard as Rafael checking back in. Virginia Tech currently sitting with 7 points in the ACC, so a Duke win. Duke has to win outright to be in contention for that top 4 spot and would need a North Carolina win over Virginia. That would get the Blue Devils to 13 points, would keep the Cavaliers at 13 points, and Duke would then be very much in the mix of a top 4 spot. But we will break all of that down on Friday when the Blue Devils and Hokies get together here at Koskinen Stadium. Blue Devils led this contest against Howard tonight 2-0 at the break. Luke Thomas getting the scoring started for Duke. Then 49 seconds later, Wolfer Bjornsson made it 2-0. Bjornsson added a goal early in the second half, his first career brace. And then a few minutes later, Forrester Ajago with his 12th goal of the season. Ajago now with 7 goals in his last 8 matches. It's very impressive for the transfer from Dayton. Played in, looking to get it to Kerr. Tied up in the corner. Good win by Kerr. And an even better play to keep it for the Blue Devils. Ajago in the box. Look at the fancy footwork there. Sends one out. Oh, touched on nicely. This is Kerr. Now leaves one off. Back to Kerr. Another left-footed blast. Bangs off a Bison. Blue Devils still with the possession here. Under 28 minutes left. Amir Daly. Daly through a couple of defenders. A couple of Blue Devils are there. And a hat trick for Bjornsson.
That's a Blue Devils goal. Fans look up for the press box. We've got a mini ball being thrown goal away.
The first Duke hat trick since Forrester Ajago did it against Furman on opening weekend. The third of the match for Bjornsson and a 5-0 Blue Devil advantage.
That Blue Devils goal was scored by number 9, Wolfer Bjornsson, his 3rd of the night.
And that goal really started by the play Duke made to keep the possession there on the end line. And then just the headiness to keep the possession for as long as they did. And Bjornsson with his first career hat trick. The second Blue Devil with the hat trick this year. And a 5-0 advantage for Duke with still 27-plus minutes remaining.
Is number 26, Fahmi Ibrahim.
Amir Daly will get credit with the assist, his 3rd of the season. Blue Devils still pushing it offensively. Bjornsson was looking for a 4th. And wouldn't that be something? More subs in for Duke. Crew Verratti is in.
Number 11, Jai Bean.
Jai Bean is also checked in for the Blue Devils.
And number 19,
so has Sentayo Clements.
Taking the corner kick for the Blue Devils, number 6.
Then it'll be Cameron Kerr to take the corner for Duke here. The night appears to be done for Bjornsson, by the way, after his hat trick. High fives and attaboys. Now a header goes wide, but I think a whistle halted play before we were totally ready, so we'll have a do-over. Header, loose in front, still loose, and then finally scooped up by Hosley. A couple of looks at it there for Duke. And what a nice job by the Blue Devils today, really playing their brand of soccer, playing extremely fierce and tough from the opening whistle. Duke a 25-2 edge in shots and an 11-2 advantage in shots on goal. And one of the things that John Kerr has talked about this year, the Blue Devil head coach, is the depth of this team and how important training has been for this Duke team. And with the amount of games that Duke has been playing and not a lot of time to rest and have competitions in the training, it's been the training that's where players can catch the eye of Coach Kerr and his staff. And certainly chances for some of the guys off the bench tonight to make an impression to their head coach. And they'll have ample time to do it with Duke leading by 5 goals and still 24-plus minutes to go in this one. Headed down, played through the middle. One of the few times the Bison has been able to connect any sort of passes here. Duke has just played that good defensively tonight, and then ushering it aside nicely was Clements. Now loose through the middle, trying to close in there was Kerr. Dangerous play by Hosley. If you're wondering, the season high in goals for Duke this year was 6 against Furman. On August the 27th, they beat Jacksonville on opening day 3-1. And then a 6-0 win over Furman to close out the John Rennie Invitational. Now, one that hopped just over the boot of a Furman player. I believe that was Henderson making the charge. And Eyestone forced to pick that one up, taking as much time as he can here. "22 minutes and some change left. Frederick, who had that goal. It was the first of the game for the Blue Devils against Howard last year. It was his first career game-winning goal. And you see the Blue Devils just kind of content to play a bit of keep away here, chew a little bit of clock. Frederick in the middle. Kerr blasts one into the box. Nobody there but a 50-50 ball that'll be settled by the Blue Devils. Down goes the Duke player. That one still flared on to the keeper, and Hosley over to make the play. Turned over. Into the box. And another one for the Blue Devils. Jai Bean with his second of the campaign. And the Blue Devils have equaled their season high. It's 6-0 Duke.
That Blue Devils goal scored by number 11, Jai Bean. Entering the game for the Blue Devils, number 7, Felix Barajas.
Felix Barajas back in for the Blue Devils as being with his second of the year.
Sebastian Doctors. And number 32, Jackson
Sebastian Doctors in for the Blue Devils as well. A 6-0 lead for the Blue Devils. They have scored 4 times this half, taking what was a 2-0 advantage and
entering the game for the Bison,
blowing it open.
Number 24, Abdullah Al-Jirafi.
Abdullah Al-Jirafi, the senior from Saudi Arabia, has checked in for Howard. And now look at Jai Bean looking for a brace. Bean leaving one off into the box. Bean, can he track this one down? He can. Saves the possession. We're down to the final 20 minutes. Barajas. This way it comes for Verratti. Good through ball there. And nobody home on the run, but on the ricochet, it goes in. Another one for the Blue Devils. It's 7-0.
Goal! Fans, look up toward the press box. We've got
I don't know who knocked it in. It might have gone off of a Howard player. Could be an own goal there, but either way, it's a 7-0 Duke lead. Checking the video to see who is awarded that last goal. Right now being charged as a team goal.
Now in the game for the
So it is a 7-0 Duke lead.
Josiah Acosta.
Josiah Acosta has checked in for the Bison of Howard. And getting confirmation now from Matt McCullough, who's bringing you all the great pictures tonight. It is an own goal on the replay. Matt doing a tremendous job bringing you all the great pictures tonight. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I think they're going to, now they're saying they're going to give it to Tino Lopez here, but looked to me and looks to Matt like an own goal, so we will keep it at that now. Either way, a 7-0 advantage for the Blue Devils. It is a season high in goals for Duke, usurping their previous total of 6 against Furman back in late August. Bean. A 26-2 edge in shots for the Blue Devils. This is the first time Duke has scored 7 or more goals in a match since August 31st, 2014, when Duke beat Stetson 8-2, almost a decade ago. Jackson Lagos in there for the Blue Devils, 32 in white. It comes to Kerr. Now Barajas trying to get behind the defense. He goes down, and just a common foul here. It'll be a corner kick for the Blue Devils, their 9th of the match.
Taking the corner for the Blue Devils is number 6, Cam Kerr.
Cam Kerr has the honor here. Kerr, the graduate student, plays one in front of the box, and then chipped out that time by Centayo Clements. Kerr, a guy that's gotten into the weight room over the last 18 to 24 months, and according to John Kerr, his dad, become a lot sharper. Played in 14 games a season ago, has been a key cog for the Blue Devils this year. This one played for Kerr and unable to track it down. No too much on that pass. Turned over again. Jose Ortega for the Blue Devils. Now to Barajas. Barajas looking for an angle, and he hit the post. Beat is there, and he missed the great opportunity. Just couldn't quite get settled. A goal kick coming, and another near miss for Duke. The Blue Devils continue to play pepper on the offensive end of things. Now 29 shots for the Blue Devils. Bit of a slip there on this, I'm not going to say cold night. It's cool, but overall fairly pleasant. Temperatures in the high 50s currently. Another beautiful day here in Durham as Bean steps through, tries to win it. Periano, or beg your pardon, the Blue Devils had a kick off of a Howard player. Quick throw in. Barajas in the middle. Under 14 minutes to go for the Blue Devils to secure win number 9. This is Verratti. Lagos, the sophomore. Verratti had it carry him off of Jackson Lewis. It'll stay with Duke. And should the Blue Devils close out the last 13 and a half minutes without giving up a goal, would be back-to-back shutouts for Eystone and this Duke defense. Blue Devils playing exceptionally well defensively over their last 4 games, which includes tonight. If they finish out this clean sheet, Blue Devils would have allowed just 1 goal over the last 4 games. That was a goal to NC State and a 2-1 victory back on October the 13th. There's a drive from distance, but wide. A sub, Zion Ash, the rookie, into his 3rd match for
Entering
Howard this year.
For the Bison is number 2, Zion Ash.
And if you go back even further, over the last 5 matches, only 2 goals given up by the Blue Devils. They lost that game at Notre Dame 1-0. But still, Duke's been playing some really good defense all year, but in particular, as of late, would be the 6th shutout of the season for Julian Eystone if he can go the last 12 and a half minutes without having one get past him. And if Howard unable to score, would be the first time they were shut out since October the 1st. Would be the 6th time overall this year they have been shut out. Five second-half goals for the Blue Devils, which include a pair from Ulfur Bjornsson, who gets his first career hat trick tonight. One in the first half, two in half number 2. There's a foul in the middle as Kerr goes down. No card. Howard was assessed a couple of yellow cards in that first half. Holsey just tries to clear it. But Duke will again keep it in there. Attacking third. That's where most of the possession has been so far in this second half. Really in the game. Just 2 shots for Howard tonight. Duke has dominated 30-2 in overall shots and a 12-2 edge in shots on goal. Maybe another one here. Lagos all the way back. Turned over in the midfield. And just trying to make some sort of run, but it comes back to Eyestone, and he will slow things down. Ortega into the box, out in front. Jybeen, now a touch, and deflected just wide. It'll be a corner kick for the Blue Devils, the 10th of the match, but another opportunity to drive one home.
Taking the corner for the Blue Devils is number 6, Cam Kerr.
Cam Kerr, the honors again on the corner. Kerr, the service in, bit of a line drive, headed away. But Kerr keeps it in. Feathers one into the box, headed, and nearly in. McGarvey was looking for his first of the year. As we mentioned earlier, the Blue Devils will now have won their 20th consecutive regular season match without a loss at Koskinen Stadium. It's the longest streak in the ACC. And they'll look to cap the regular season with a win on Friday night when they take on Virginia Tech. 3 matches remaining for Howard. They're all league matchups. And a couple of the teams ahead of the Bison in the NEC standings, so a chance to make a little bit of headway as they close down the regular season and eye the conference tournament. Sacred Heart coming up later this week. Then a trip to Central Connecticut State, who's still looking for their first league win. And then they close the year to the Bison with currently the number 1 team in the Northeast Conference, St. Francis, 4-0-2 in the league. Barajas leaving one off, and a save made on Bean, who was looking for the brace. Nice play by Hosley. Bean keeps it. Into the box. Knocked away. Duke trying to continue the possession, and they do. Good play by Clemens to keep it. Then the drive goes over Scandalaris Pavilion. And another goal kick coming here for Howard as we move to the final 7 minutes of this second half. It took the Blue Devils a few minutes to find their first goal tonight. Didn't come until we had a little less than 19 minutes to go in the first half, when Luke Thomas got his second goal of the season. Now Duke looking for another, and the goal kick coming. And then 49 seconds later, it was Bjornsson with the blast from inside the 18-yard box to make it 2-0. That was the halftime score. And then the Blue Devils were off to the races early in the second half. The Blue Devils getting a goal nearly 4 minutes into half number 2 from Bjornsson. Was his first career brace. That made it 3-0 Duke. Then Forrester Ajago with a goal, his 12th of the season, and his 7th goal in the last 8 matches made it a 4-0 Duke lead. Barrage of goals continued for Duke. 27 minutes to go in the game. The hat trick for Bjornsson, his first career, to make it 5-0, and nearly another goal there for the Blue Devils. Then Jai Bean with a goal to make it 6-0. A team goal for the Blue Devils made it 7-0, and that's where we stand now, down to the final 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Number 6, Cam Kerr.
It'll be Cam Kerr to have the honor of Duke's 11th corner kick of the match. A service in and a header from McGarvey goes high and wide. So another goal kick forthcoming for Howard. But as good as Duke has been offensively, they've been equally as tough on the defensive end. Have only permitted 2 shots, both of them on goal by Howard, and both in the opening half of play. Final 5 minutes here. It'll also be a perfect non-conference for Duke. Blue Devils beating Jacksonville, Furman, Princeton, Charleston Southern, and Elon in the non-conference. Did have that 2-2 draw with Wofford. And a nice play there by the Bison to keep Bean's run from progressing. And, of course, Duke will certainly face more non-league competition once they get into the NCAA tournament that begins in a couple of weeks. Service in, and Hosley is there. Costa into the corner, and a good play there by the Blue Devils to usher it aside. Back to Eystone, who's not been busy very much in this second half. Turned over at the top of the 18, and then deflected enough to keep it from rolling on target. It'll be another corner kick for Duke, the 12th of the night for the Blue Devils. Kerr put it in play quickly. Barajas plays it back now for Lagos. Now to Barajas. They play a little 2-man game with it. Off his line, loose in front. Hosley goes down. The Blue Devil goes down as well. We play on here with 2.5 minutes remaining. It'll be a throw in here for the Blue Devils. Probably going to take a lot to stop play now with Duke ahead by 7 and down to the final 2 minutes of this one. Through the midfield now, Howard trying to get a little bit of momentum at the end of this match. They have not had a shot in this entire second half. Here's Acosta playing one in front. Good usher aside by the Blue Devils with 80 seconds remaining. Into the middle now, Barajas. Barajas plays one out wide. Now in front, Barajas heads one. Oh, what a save by Hosley. It's still loose. Another one deflected. And Howard just trying to clear with less than a minute to go. Igos plays one in. Settle Bean missed it wide. Trying to go near post there. But the Blue Devils will have time for their 13th corner, playing it quickly. They'd like one more goal before it's over. Make it 14 corners now for Duke. Down to the final half minute. Barajas. The service in. The header deflected. And it is out. Another corner for the Blue Devils. 15 now for Duke with 15 seconds to go. Headed on target. Out of there with 8 seconds to go. And now the Blue Devils may have to hurry here. 3 seconds left. Duke will try to put it in play. They do, and that will do it. A dominant night for the number 8 team in the country. The Blue Devils score 5 goals in the second half, and Julian Eystone with his 6th shutout of the season. It's the 3rd shutout for Duke in the last 4 games, as Duke moves to 9-3-2 on the year with a dominant 7-0 win over Howard. The Bison's 2-match winning streak is snapped as they fall to 2-10-1.